Good.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Evening.
Welcome to the Zoom meeting. Dr. Mbogo, how are you?
I'm very good, Madam Rainey. Are you okay?
Good evening, Professor. I'm going to set you as the co-host.
Okay. Give you a warning.
Good evening,
This morning,
Professor.
my computer has some problems. Right now it's okay.
Sorry, Professor, we can't hear you. You're still muted.
Huh? Questions you guys wanted to discuss? We can start with that. It's normal.
Oh, maybe we can get, if anyone is in this meeting and has a question to ask, you can unmute yourself and ask Professor a question.
Okay. If another question while waiting for you guys, I just get something for. I'm gonna put up a PowerPoint for the blueberry. So the blueberry, we have a lot of blueberry. Some people came to New Jersey last year, and also when we met Professor Cesar in Nanjing. He is a blueberry specialist, and we have a blueberry research station in New Jersey as a part of the department of the Rutgers University. Rutgers University is the New Jersey State University, and it's a well-known agriculture, and actually it's a huge university. It is the largest campus in US. We have 5 campuses. Students take classes, you have to take a bus. You cannot just walk to the classroom. You have to take a bus from a classroom to another classroom. The whole town, New Brunswick, New Jersey, is a Rutgers University town, the city. That city combines of 2 counties. That's huge. 3 townships. So the students is, I don't know how many students. Anyway, it's the largest university in US. The agriculture is one of the best. It has about 260 years history. Very long history university. Agriculture college is on the Cook College campus. And we have major campus, and also we have peach research in state farm, blueberry farm, and soda farm. Have several agriculture experiment stations belong to the agriculture college part. So Cesar he is one of the top Columbia, actually the major Columbia professor. So he was teaching pest management and the blueberry cultivation. Also have USDA, ARS, Agriculture Research Service. They have somebody stationed there for blueberry genetic modification. Blueberry has majorly we have 2 types blueberry in New Jersey, in US. One is high bush, which is major blueberry from in the southern or middle U.S. is mostly used for actually for the fresh blueberry people consumption. And this is the most is cultivated. It's not a wild species. It's cultivated. We are keep improving the variety, quality, management. All this for blueberry. Government, universities spend a lot of money, a lot of students, a lot of professors working on the blueberry research. Not only variety, and also on pest management. You have some major insect pests and some diseases. And also they have a special requirement for soil. Not all the soil can produce nice blueberry. They need a soil pH around 4.5 to 5.5. So it's not all the places can grow nice blueberry. I have about 20 blueberry plants in my garden. Had 4 blueberry plants. I had almost 20 years, more than 20 years. And I have another 20 is just I got last year. You can plant blueberry. Your soil, if it's too rich, too good, you may don't get a high yield. You have to get a soil have a pH between 4.5 to 5.5, and also plus all the nutritional management, pest control, all this together. Also have birds. Birds is a bigger problem for small farm. My blueberry, some year I can get most of the time I don't get any because the birds is faster than me. Any ripe fruits, berries come out, they pick early in the morning. When I get up, they are gone. So the birds can pick up all the harvest, all the blueberries. You don't get any. So this is also birds is nice for. I have a huge backyard for all the woods. You have birds singing all day long. My blueberry, most time I don't get any, but I still plant 20 plants. My mulberry, I never get any. They eat it. They eat them all. So this is this the high bush blueberry in the central U.S., central east U.S. The low bush blueberry is mainly in the northeast U.S. I'm not sure other region, Africa, Asia, I'm not sure what they are, but I'm talking about the U.S. situation. So the low bush blueberry is wild. It's not cultivated. It is, they grow voluntarily from the soil. It's miles away, huge. You don't see ants, all the blueberry, on the mountains. The low bush is very low. It is grow. High bush you can get a meter high or 2 meters. But the low bush is only kind of less than a meter. It's close on the soil. You don't do anything for them. Only thing you can do some pest control. The blueberry maggots, some flies. And you can control it by some time, one of the major practices is they burn the blueberry plants every other year. So when you finish the season, they set a fire on the mountain, on the farm. Not necessarily farm because it's the kind of all the public area. Nobody owns it. Somebody owned it, but I don't know who owned it. They set a fire and they burn all the plants. Same time, they burn the insects. So next year, come back from this underneath the soil, will be less insects. So burning residues of the plants is one of the common practice for pest control. This is also remind everyone when you have something, you cut into some pruning, you do something plants on the farm, you don't want to leave this old plant material on the farm, just left them alone. The insects, the diseases, they will stay on the farm and we will continue next year. It create a new problem or even worse problem. So what do you do when you finish the season? You should clean up all this old plant material. Anything old, or you pruning, you cut all the branches off, all this like banana plants, everything, anything you cut off. You should pile them up. You don't need to necessarily burn them, but you should take them out in the field, put a bigger pile, let them make a compost. If you can seal the pile with some mud and to cover them, and they will have naturally do the fermentation. In the middle will be very hot. And when you're very hot, they can kill most of the insects and diseases. And also make your plant material dissolve, make them compost, make them a nutrients, a fertilizer available for use. So after the fermentation, you are composted from this plant material. Major service, you think about it, you're making some fertilizer. This may be secondary. The more important is your fermentation. You make this compost fertilizer, you kill all the insect pests and diseases. Not kill 100%, but you can kill 90% or not even more. The insects, the diseases, they are organisms or microorganisms. The organisms, microorganisms, like a widow, we are living life animals, organisms. Organisms can survive very low temperature, even minus 70 C. They still can survive. That's what we put any genetic material. When you keep DNA for long term, you don't keep DNA in the refrigerator. They will go bad. Refrigerator is about 4 degrees C. You don't keep them in the minus 20 C freezer either. The minus 20 C freezer, you can kill most of them. You can keep DNA short term, but it's not a long term. Long term, you need to keep them in the minus 70 degrees C. So the organisms can survive at a low temperature. You think, okay, I'm doing it, let them keep cooling and I can kill them. It's not the best way. The best way to kill any organism is high temperature. If anything temperature, if If we are body temperature 37. If we got a 40 degrees C, that's not good for us. If we got a 50 or 60, even high, you may die. So the insect pests or any other stuff, organisms. I need to take some water. The high temperature can kill insects and diseases. So you put all this plant material, combine them, set a bigger pile, cover them, don't let them any air, water get in. You see, if you can seal them with the mud. When I was little, we always do this job. We cut all these materials, we sealed with the mud, then let them sit for several months. And inside it will be very hot. And all the plants, they all decompose. You don't see the plant size shape anymore. So this is the way. So that's this is one of the pest control. Also is the fertilizer making. So this is the two basic variety, basically blueberry in US. So then we can see the blueberry soil pH requirements is very restricted. If pH is too high, we're not good. So when you want to plant blueberry, you need to first test your soil. Every time we discuss one of the crop cultivation or management, we try to find out the underlying science, and we can use this. When we talk about blueberry, you can use this method to apply all the acid-like plants. Many plants like acid soil. So same idea. When you understand the blueberry, you understand other acid plants, like acid-loving plants. So the soil pH, you need to check. If your soil pH is too high, if you go to 6 or 7, so you need to change to reduce your pH level by add sulfur or PMOS. I don't know if you got a PMOS, but you get a sulfur. Or in New Jersey, why we have Dr. Cesar, his office is in the southern New Jersey. Why is he in southern New Jersey? Because he's doing blueberry. Why blueberry in southern New Jersey? Because in southern New Jersey is a pine berry. It's all the trees are pine berry. And these pine berry needles make the soil acidic. So that's why that region, all the pine berry places are good for blueberry because their pH is low. And also it's one of the major forest fire place. They always have a lot of miles forest fire near Dr. Sadai's office because they have so dry pine forests. So the best fertilizers for blueberry. We can see the acid-loving plants, not only blueberry. We have azalea, and rhododendron is kind of azalea, and is something tea plants. And in here we have a variety of trees, a variety. A lot of New Jersey plants are acid-loving plants. So that's why they naturally selected. If your soil's pH is low, and you open your eyes, you look around, most of the plants near you are acid-loving plants. But for agriculture, for large agriculture, they are not. Most of the crops don't like too acidic soil. So we like pH around 6.5, 6.5, between 6.5 and 7, balanced, neutral. These plants like, but blueberry is acid-loving plants. So you have to keep in mind, if you wanted to plant blueberry, you need to know, understand your soil. We always say, every time we make any fertilizer, we need always ask you, can you do your soil testing? You understand your soil? We all every time we say, you understand your soil, you understand your plants, you understand your fertilizer. This way, when you make a recommendation, it makes sense. So fertilizer, we always say chemical fertilizer can make your soil more acidic. That's true. But not all the chemical fertilizer make your soil acidic. Some make it acidic, some maybe not. So when you pick a fertilizer, chemical fertilizer used for your blueberry, you need to pick some chemical fertilizer are making soil more acidic. That's against your natural thinking. You're always thinking, yeah, we need a soil, avoid the soil acidic. We need a neutralized soil, make your soil more perfect for your plants. This is true for most plants, most crops, but not for blueberry. But if your soil is if you keep only use chemical fertilizer, you keep your soil is acidic. Your pH is 4.5 to 5.5, but you may don't have good nutrients. So last week I hear one of the agriculture ecologists, they were saying that nutrients, a lot of nitrogen is in the soil. It's just not available for plant use because the soil ecosystem is bad. So it's not available. We have elements in the soil, we just cannot use it. What we need to do is you need to change your environment. When you change your environment, then you get your soil, nitrogen in the soil will make it available. So when you pick fertilizer for blueberry, make sure you take this S. This S make your soil acidic. But you maybe make sure you try to avoid Cl. A lot of time we have Cl, the chloride in the fertilizer. That is not good for these plants, including blueberry, including tea, including tobacco. Some plants, they don't like chloride much. So that's when you buy fertilizer, even some organic fertilizer, they also sometimes they have Cl chloride inside, you don't know. So you need to check it out. So try to avoid the nitrate. Try to avoid chloride. You can use sulfate. So this way, one of the ammonia chloride, when I was in China, we used it a lot. This will be very easy evaporate. When you use this kind of fertilizer, you have to, if you apply to the soil, you have to cover with the soil, otherwise you lost it immediately. So when you apply chemical fertilizer, the best way is into the soil, but most of them from When I was in China, they don't cover it. They just they put something the ammonia chloride in the water, the tank. They just apply to the plants. If that way, the best is after you plant, make sure you water them. Also, first round, you apply the fertilizer with your tank, with your spray, whatever. Then second person, you go another round. You just put the water. This way you wash your fertilizer into your soil rather than leave this fertilizer on the top of the soil. So this way you can avoid digging. If you dig, make a ditch, you put your fertilizer, you cover it, then you water them. This is the best way, but it takes a long time. You can dissolve it in your water and you apply. Second person, you just use the water to do another apply, and you wash this ammonia chloride or ammonia sulfate into your soil, and we can go to the couple of inches deep, and the plant's roots can take it. So always keep in mind, if your acidic loving plants, are you having any chloride or nitrate in your fertilizer? If you yes, you may try to avoid or use the lower concentration. When you use the lower concentration, use less, we will not have big problem. It's very easy to lose your nitrogen into the air. About what's the percentage we have air? When the air, we have about 70% of air on nitrogen. We just cannot use it. We don't want to apply something fertilizer on the ground and you lose again. So instead of using chemical fertilizer, you can use organic fertilizer. Well, we have organic fertilizer. NOPF is organic fertilizer. And also you can use this, all kinds of natural cotton seed, meal, blood meal, all this, anything, the compost, it's organic fertilizer. These are good. Organic fertilizer, when you make a compost, this also sometimes have pH issue. So when you will have pH issue, because if you can pick like a pine needle mulch, something they will be help lower your pH. So when you have to fertilize your blueberry, so keep in mind we're talking about the blueberry, but the underlying science it can apply to all other acid-loving crops or other crops. You just adjust the pH issue. For the blueberry, for all the trees, for the fruiting trees, they all have, you can have 2 stages. For the early young stage of the blueberry, or young stage of the peaches, or avocado, or coffee, or plum, anything fruit trees, you can have earlier stage. It's not necessarily immature, it's young trees. A year or 2 year old, they may don't flower too much, don't have fruits too much. So that time, your purpose is to stimulate the trees to grow larger. Physically, like them build a huge, bigger trees. Then when you have mature trees, they start actually blooming, produce a lot of fruits. So that way, that time you change your mind setting, how to use your fertilizer. So first, early couple of years, your objective is to grow your trees, make your trees sizable. Then that way, you can apply your fertilizer, natural chemical fertilizer, or NOPF, or other organic fertilizer, on like a monthly basis. If you use the chemical fertilizer, you make sure you see in the early season, put into the soil, cover it, you apply a lot of water, make your water in the entire growing season, your soil moisture. If not moisture, doesn't matter how much fertilizer you put into the soil, the plants cannot take. So that time we can beneficial when you use the NOPF because you spray on the leaf. When you spray on the leaf, then you don't need your soil moisture. Because you spray, you give them moisture, give them water. On the leaf, you make a film on the both side of the leaf. Especially we apply the back of the leaf because we have the air opening mostly on the back of the leaf, on the side of the leaf. So the whole entire growing season, you can make a cup monthly, make the plants bigger. For the cassava, last time Dr. Mbugo we discussed, do we need spray fertilizer on the dry season? And I didn't know, but I did more studying. Preferred not. Because the dry season, cassava you can grow in 2 years. And if you dry season, their whole mind setting is their dormancy. They don't do too much. If you apply leaf foliar spray fertilizer, the plants kind of like a wake up. Oh, you give me some fertilizer, I need to do something. Then they started do some new growth. But if you don't keep watering them all the time, you wake up them, but you don't feed them afterwards. They maybe not the best way to go. So if they are dormant side, let them keep in the dormant stage. Like a winter time. If you have cold winter, so when we in the later season, almost all the crops, all the trees, you don't want to do the last late fall spray NOPF or put a lot of immediately use fertilizer in the later season because you may stimulate a lot of new growth. When the new growth come out and you are not providing them the warm temperature, next day start frozen, like start temperature below 0. Then you kill these plants, leaves. So the later season, when they start thinking, okay, I'm going to go to the dormants, let them go to the dormants. Don't break the dormants unless you can keep them active. So my bees, today is my temperature is about, you can reach 80 degree F. I don't know how much degree C. It's very warm today. So a lot of bees come out. When we feed the bees, the same principle. When you feed them bees in the winter, before winter time, you feed them very thick sugar water, like 2 parts of the sugar, put 1 part of the water. So 2 to 1 ratio. That give the bees signal that I give you a lot of sugar, but I'm not asking you to produce more kids. So all the queens, they stop laying eggs. They just keep feeding the high concentration sugar water. So when you give the signal, tell them it's going to be too cold. In the springtime, in the early springtime, from March, then you give them 1-to-1 ratio of the sugar water. One part of the water, one part of the sugar. I tell them that, hey, the springtime coming, you need to keep active, laying a lot more eggs. So this way, they lay eggs, they produce new larvae, because the warm temperature came in, we don't kill them. If you give them wrong signal in the late fall, they produce a lot of young bees, and too cold come in, they cannot overwinter, they die. So same principle for the plants. Plants, they also take signals from what you do. If you don't do anything, they will do by the temperature, the weather, the nature give to them. When they're too dry, it's okay, okay, you keep it dormant. When it's too cold coming, they are not going to produce a lot of new leaves. So that's why when we, do I have a note here? I'm not sure. When we late the season, if you have the cold winter, you don't feed them too much fertilizer and let them go to dormancy. So the young plants, you can monthly. The mature plants, you have basically they have this 3 big time. The beginning of the season, right now, for the here, I'm living place. The buds just start open. Then we should give them fertilizer right now into the soil, or not spray NOPF yet because we don't have leaf. Spray NOPF when the leaves come out, then you spray. Then you get a lot of nutrients that can take in, they promote, stimulate the flower. Then at the peak of flower time, then you can spray again NOPF. And after you harvest, the after harvest issue is applying many plants. The blueberry, all kinds of fruit trees, or tea. After the tea, when you pick it, or coffee beans, or cocoa fruits, all these when you harvest. After one of the major harvest, you give them a shot because they use up all the nutrients. So they need to start with a new cycle. Then you give them new fertilizer, let them start over again. So this is what we should know. One of the last things that I said, water them very heavily. It's applying for the soil fertilizer. If you spray on the leaf, you don't need to water them. If you water them, you wash it. You wash your fertilizer off. You don't want to do that. So how do you tell if your fertilizer enough or not enough? That's what the easier. We talked about this before. When you fertilize, your leaf is kind of a very light, very pale. Can you see my plants? What do I mean? Is it green, dark green, or very yellow? It is very light. This is for we have a joke. Now in my hometown we have a joke. the carpenter, the people that are making the furniture people, they are furniture that don't have legs. And fertilizer professor, his plants don't have nutrients. So when we say it, we know what to do. You take care for your own plants. Not necessarily always use on time because we're too busy. These plants even not fertilizer, even not water. That's why it's all pale. So this which means you need fertilizer. I grew up from a farm. I talked to a person yesterday. So this is very so funny. We are so poor. When little, we grew up from the farmer's family, and then we really don't want to stay on the farm. We want to go out. So we're studying hard. We went to university, and we go to agriculture university. You don't want to go to agriculture. You go to agriculture university, and when you finish it, you still do agriculture. When you're getting old, you still do agriculture. You hated agriculture when you were little. When you're getting older, you still do agriculture. The problem is totally different attitude. When I was little, when we are poor, agriculture is our life. If we farm, we don't get anything, we may die. We do go starving. Right now, we are not poor. If my plants, this is a hobby. Who cares if life or die? So that's why, even don't bother, sometimes forget to water them. But if this is your life, this is your business, this farm is your business, you cannot do that. So you will take care of all the teaching. My research is for other people, how to make your business, make your life better. It's not for my hobby. My hobby, my plants still dying, still no fertilizer, no nutrients. So when you raise chickens, when you raise a couple of chickens, they're just for fun. It's okay. You lay eggs or not, I don't care. But if a farm, you make money, make a living from that, you have to be very careful. So we are talking all this about the business help farmers. It's not a help for my own plants die. So this is how do you make if your fertilizer is too much, how do you know? A lot of fruit plants, you also make sure you don't fertilize them too much. You fertilize too much, especially if you fertilize nitrogen too much. The plants keep thinking, I'm in the vegetative growth. I don't care about the flower and fruits. So they keep growing leaves. And you get, actually, you don't get a lot of fruits. We discussed it a lot in the past, like cotton, a lot of fruits, almost all the major crops. You don't give them too much over fertilizer. Fertilizer is only give them as a nutrient. That's like we eat food, we eat meals, we eat the amount just we need. We don't want to eat too much. When we eat too much, we overweighted. We get a lot of heart problem, a lot of blood issue, everything coming back problem. So the best is to give them amount they need. The best. That's why we always ask people, test your soil, understand your soil. Then you understand your water, fertilizer. You understand your plants. So they, like you are a doctor. You always keep understanding whole system. For the leaf burn, if you do the chemical fertilizer, you will have leaf burning if you apply on the leaf. For the NOPF, technically, you shouldn't have any leaf burning. So doesn't matter what the concentration you are. But why we wasted too much waste it? We still don't want to waste it. So we will give them the optimum concentration, not the maximum concentration. Not the too much is good. Not too much is not good. Okay, additional tips. The blueberry because I got 20 plants from last summer from the blueberry station. Their roots is so much, soil is so bad. The plants is dying. That's why they gave it to me. The plants are dying. No leaves. Everything is so bad. They want to throw it away, and I took it. So I took it. I changed the pots. So they actually can put in the pots, or if you're a farmer, you don't put it in the pots. You put it on the soil in the soil. You need to give them mulch. If you keep the mulch have served several purposes. One is to keep your soil moisture, they covered. Your sun is not directly onto the soil, so your soil keep it moisture. Second, your mulch can dissolve, can break them down. You give them nutrients. Like your compost, make your compost on the spot of your trees, not a huge place. The mulch, you suppose, get a clean mulch. In US, they have the very strange condition is you have to, when we got some soil, get some mulch from other people, the township will come back check you. Is your soil clean? No pathogens, no metals, nothing, no chemicals. So you have to check your soil best condition. The mulch is also the same thing. You know your mulch is clean of the insects or clean of the diseases. A lot of mulch have diseases. The insects is relatively easy to control. The diseases is hard. So the mulch is not the best way if you don't know. You have to put the mulch, you know where they come from. If you don't know where it come from, try to set a big pile, let them go fermentation, let them become compost, then use it. If you know where they come from your backyard, from your farm, you know you don't have any diseases, you can spray your mulch for any place you want. And when you use for the blueberry, you have to pick what kind of mulch, what kind of water chips you want, because different mulch, different water chips, different material can produce different pH. Most of the cases, organic material, plant material, mulch, compost will increase your pH, not decrease your pH. But you want a lower pH, so you be careful. Okay, this is what I made this available for the blueberry, not something. So if any question, whatever the case, fertilizer for special plants, for special crops, we also apply this into almost all other crops. So we talk about the acidic loving plants, we talk about the compost, we talk about all the the trees, the young trees, mature trees. We talk about the organic ones. We talk about the organic material have potential problems, have the diseases, have the insects. Why we need the burning of these low bush blueberries, or this chemical fertilizer you are on, even all the chemical fertilizers, ammonia fertilizer, you have sulfur or chloride. They give you two different total condition. A lot of plants, crops, tea, something, they may sensitive to the chloride. So when you buy fertilizer, make sure try to avoid the chloride. If you use chloride contained fertilizer, you should use low doses. Not too much, but you can use many times. And you also need to pay attention to watch your plants. You will always keep watching your plants, check your soil, look at what you have in your hands for the fertilizer or the pesticides. Yesterday, one of my neighbor, she asked me to go to their place. She has so many bottles of the chemicals, fertilizers, a lot of pesticides and weed sides, fungicides, totally messed up. For the insecticides, you have internal, plants can suck up the insecticides, keep them inside the plant tissue for 2 months, or the pesticides only can spray, kill the insects by contact. Some insecticides are stomach poison. Some insecticides are toxic on the skins. So all different. She was so messed up, don't know what to do. So I went there to help her to organize all this. Okay, this is a bunch for what? This is a bunch for that. Some for big insects, some for small insects, some for diseases, something for the broadleaf weeds, some for small narrow leaf weeds. So all the pesticides can including 3 kinds of sites: insecticides, fungicides, weedicides, all together called pesticides. All the pesticides have different features. You have to understand everything. We are doctors of the plants, like doctor of our human health. We have to understand all the drugs. We have to understand your human body. We understand the plant's physiology. You have to understand the soil. So this, every time we discuss one topic, we learn something, we communicate with something. For long term, you will have a sense of agriculture ecosystem. So ecosystem management is our objective. We use system analysis to control, to manage everything we have. Oh, I'm talking a lot about it. Sorry, I'm talking too much out of blueberry. Okay, any questions? If no question, we can stop. We can discuss it next time.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor. We have really understood today's topic, really relating to blueberry as a case study on fertilizers that are, or the plants that require acidic fertilizer.
Yeah.
I'm happy even now to realize I've never imagined or thought that ammonium chloride can be used as a fertilizer. I've known of ammonium nitrate, which is quite soluble, and also ammonium chloride. Ammonium chloride is also very, very soluble because all ammonium salts are soluble. Now,
water soluble.
all ammonium salts are very much soluble. Now, what do we, how do we go about spraying? Because sometimes ammonia may be a little bit toxic, and there could be, especially when it is solution form, we may have some of it coming. And when the farmer is spraying, especially when you have it in ammonium form, if it is spraying, then it can be difficult. Do we suggest that we use the nodules one instead of maybe having something to spray? Because I thought ammonium compounds, if at all you spray it, there could be a problem. But if you use it is in nodules form or solid form, it could be better. What's your take, Professor?
Well, if the ammonia, I prefer use, doesn't matter soil liquid formulation or solid formulation. I prefer all use in the soil and cover it. If you don't cover it, you have to water them after you apply the fertilizer. If you don't water them, ammonia chloride or ammonia sulfide, they all evaporate. You lose it. So it's very easy to get lost. So either you cover it or you water them afterwards if you're liquid formulation. Because I remember we used the ammonia, the whole boat. They had a whole boat of shipping to our farm, and this is all liquid. But if you just you plant and put it in the soil, well, that time now I didn't understand the agriculture science either. So we just water them, put a can and spray, put it onto the roots of the plants. You can use maybe 20% or 5%. Most of them are lost. You waste your money. So if you apply the liquid ones, you have to water, do another one, water them, and then make, first one, you put it under the roots, and you wait a couple of minutes. The second person go over, you water them, and you can wash this ammonia to the soil. If you left it on the soil, top of soil, it's always there.
Okay.
So that's why agriculture, you have to do scientific agriculture. It's not just agriculture. Like this is a professional plants, not scientific at all. Because it's a hobby. Who cares? Die. But if your life, your business, you should save money, produce more money. So that's the whole thing. We have to calculate our money all the time. Okay, if not, we see you next time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Professor, for having us. We have really learned. I have to say that we learn a lot from you. And thank you for deciding to share what you have with the rest of us, as even we share what we could be having. And even as we relate in this sharing, we learn from each other. Maybe, Professor, you can prepare a lesson where you can help us to understand the soil, because the soil is the growing media. And maybe we try to understand the soil ecosystem, because the soil is not only about the nutrients. There are other living organisms that are helpful in the soil that we need to really take care of them. So if you could help us to understand the soil ecosystem, maybe we'll be in a better position to take care of it well. Otherwise, from my end, thank you very much. And I wish to say to everyone, goodbye.
Bye-bye. Good weekend.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. I'm in Uganda. I just came back from the field and meet 200 coffee farmers in Uganda. Give them training on our fertilizer.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you, Professor.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Professor. I'm sorry, I apologize for the fault of my speaker. But actually, I use my sister's account, Zoom account, to
That's okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because when I arrived home, it was almost 10 o'clock. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
We'll see you after 2 weeks. So thank you so much and have a good weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. So everybody unmute yourself and say goodbye to Professor and say thank you to him. We wish all of you a happy weekend. So enjoy your weekend and digest what you have learned today. Thank you.
Mr.
We'll see
Budiman,
you
may you
after 2
enjoy
weeks.
your
Yes.
Eid al-Fitr. You are actually adding your month of prayer. Congratulations, and I wish you the very best, Mr. Budiman, and the rest of Islam or Muslim community and our distributor who are Muslim. We wish you the very best in this Ramadan finishing of your prayer. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mogo. Thank you.
Ramadan Kareem.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.